So on Monday night, with Mr. Hugo, all right, you went through all of these questions that I set for you guys. So let's go through and let's see what you learned very quickly. So first of all, you learned the names of different shapes. You learned about quadrilaterals, that a quadrilateral has 4 sides, that a pentagon has 5 sides, a hexagon has 6 sides, a heptagon has 7 sides, and an octagon has 8 sides. Okay, so you learned about all those different shapes, and Mr. Hugo went through all of those with you. All right, you learned about what is a regular polygon and what is a irregular polygon. All right, then you went through the fill in the missing words with Mr. Hugo, and you guys did that brilliantly. Okay, you guys filled in the names of the shapes, you drew the different triangles, all right, and you identified all those different types of triangles. Okay, so what I want to do tonight is I want to make some space here on the side, and I want to hide those notes that you made on Monday night. And I just want to test and make sure that you were all paying attention on Monday night and that you're paying attention tonight. So a reminder again that the chat is used for maths related questions only. If you do go against the rules, Mr. Hugo will be removing you guys from the lesson. All right, so I want you guys to tell me, all right, and I am going to ask for hands in a few minutes. Let's pick my favorite color here quickly. All right, I am looking for number 1. Oh dear. Sorry, guys. Oh, that's strange that our page doesn't want to let us go across. We might have to go all the way to the bottom. All right, let's do that rather. Okay. Number 1. I would like somebody to tell me a triangle, with all, Lorena, you already have your hand up. I haven't even asked the question yet. With all sides equal and all angles. Okay, so what is the name of a triangle with all sides and all angles equal? So I have to ask Lorena because their hand was up before anybody, before I even finished asking the question. So let's see. Right, Lorena, what's that triangle called?
The triangle called is equilateral.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Lorena. All right. So that one is an equilateral. So yes, you would need to have a ruler here. All right. Oh dear. Sorry, guys. I think our board is also on holiday today, guys. Okay. So like Lorena said, oh my goodness me. Mr. Hugo, our page is definitely on holiday today. Okay, so let's see if it'll let us do it now. All right, so there is a triangle. Okay, and that triangle is what's known as an equilateral triangle. So how do we show that that is an equilateral? How do we show that that is an equilateral? Who's going to talk to me and tell me, how do we show that's an equilateral? Tara Jane, talk to me, Tara Jane. How do we show that's an equilateral?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Use the small lines on each side.
Good, well done, Tara Jane. So I need to put lines on each side. Tara Jane, do you agree that I need to maybe give this triangle a name, hey?
Yes.
So I'm going to call this triangle A, B, C. And like you said, I need to give lines on each side. Thank you so much, Tara Jane.
Welcome.
All right, now I know, guys, some of us get a little bit confused, and we've seen this before when we did the last constructions. Some of you guys got a little bit confused when you saw these lines instead. Oh my goodness, what is happening with our page tonight, guys? I think it's the internet. It's doing weird things. All right, so some of us got a little bit confused. No, put the A back there. All right, when we saw these kind of lines. So when there were double lines like that. Now, that's nothing to get worried about. All that means is that it's a different kind of line they've drawn. What happens if they put 3 lines? What happens if they've got lines like this? Does that matter? No. Okay, so it doesn't mean that because there's more than one line on there that all of a sudden the lines are not equal. That means that, okay, we're going to draw it on here. Oh my word. Okay, oh, doesn't want to erase now. All right, so those lines mean that AB, which is a line, is equal to CB, which is equal to AC. So all those lines mean is that those lines are in the triangle are equal to each other. All right. Next. Okay, let's look at our next triangle. Let's look at our next triangle. Number 2. So I want, let's put the name of this triangle underneath here for you guys. So this was called an equilateral. Also, just a warning, Chrissy's spelling, not great. So guys, if I've spelled something wrong, just forgive me. I'm really sorry. My spelling's not great, but I can do math, so that's okay. All right. So, number 2. I want to know a triangle with 2 sides and the opposite angles to those sides equal. So a triangle that has 2 sides and the angles that are opposite those sides that are equal. All right, so I still have all these hands up. All right, let's see who I can ask here now. Christina. Oh, I've clicked on somebody else quickly, but where's Christina? Okay, Christina, tell me, what is that triangle called? A triangle with 2 sides and the opposite angles to those sides equal. What's that triangle called?
An isosceles triangle.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. An isosceles triangle. That's actually my favorite kind of triangle. Thank you so much, Christina. Okay, so an isosceles triangle. Now, the reason why I love an isosceles triangle is because it's a beautiful triangle to draw. So I'm going to go and I'm going to put him in here quickly. All right, I need to name this triangle first. Always important that we give our triangle a name. So I'm going to name this triangle, and hopefully you guys are doing the notes with me today. Triangle D, E, F. So that's the way I'm naming this triangle this time. So that's triangle DEF. How am I going to show that there are 2 sides that are equal to each other? Again, I'm going to go and I'm going to draw the lines. Okay, so here is my line, and there is my other line. Now, they also told me that this triangle has 2 equal angles that are equal. So it's the opposite angles. So it's that angle and that angle that are equal. So that's one way to show that the angles are equal. Sometimes what they'll also do, or what they could also do, guys, is sometimes, and our board again is not allowing it, sometimes what they do is they draw a dot here and they draw a dot here to show that those angles are also equal. So just like you said, that is called an isosceles triangle. I also really like that triangle because I know how to spell that one, and it's not as complicated as equilateral triangle, not so fancy. So isosceles triangle. All right, so let's go name all the things that are equal to each other. So I can go and say that side DE is equal to side DF. And what else do I know? I also know that angle E, so we write an angle like that with a cup on the top, is going to be equal to angle F. So angle E is also going to be equal to angle F. All right. Is there maybe another way that they can show those angles? All right. Yes, there is. They could say to us that angle DEF is equal to angle DFE. So that's another way that they could show it. All right. By drawing it out like that. Okay. The angle that sits in the middle, the letter that's sitting in the middle, that's the angle. All right. Or another way that you can sometimes see it, and you see it in textbooks, and you might see it in your tests, okay, your quiz, is they could say angle DEF is equal to angle DFE. So again, the angle is always the letter that's in the middle. All right. Okay, so somebody's asking, how are the angles equal? So in an isosceles triangle, the angles that are opposite the equal sides, so you can see that this angle is opposite to this equal side, and this angle is opposite to this equal side, and those angles are always going to be equal. That's the rule of an isosceles triangle. Okay. All right. So let's go have a look at our next one. So our next triangle, triangle number 3, a triangle where there are no equal sides or angles. A triangle where there are no equal sides or angles. Okay, so a triangle where there are no equal sides or angles. All right, so I'm going to draw what it looks like first, and then I'm going to ask somebody to help me out. Okay, so if I had to draw that triangle, let's see if it'll let us, I don't think it'll let us draw it, guys, so I might have to draw this one freehand. Let's go see. So here is one side of that triangle. Here is the next side of that triangle. And here is the last side of that triangle. Okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to label it quickly. So my last one, my first one was ABC, then I had DF, so I'm going to make this one GHI. Okay, Lungawa is asking me so nicely in the chat to pick her, and Lungawa, I can't see you on the screen with your hand up, unfortunately, so you've got to raise, oh, there we go, Lungawa, I can see you. Okay, Lungawa, where did you go?
I'm here, ma'am.
Are you there? Okay, Lungawa, tell me, what is that triangle called?
A scalene.
Thank you, Lungawa. A scalene triangle. Lungawa, are there any marks on that triangle to tell us that it's a scalene triangle?
No.
No, nothing, hey? And because there's no marks on it, Lungawa, that's why we can tell it's a scalene triangle. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Lungawa, could you maybe give me another description of this kind of triangle? So yes, we get like isosceles triangles and equilateral triangles and scalene triangles, but we get another kind of name for triangles. Do you know what they are?
No, ma'am.
Okay, have you heard of like triangles where they have all the angles are less than 90 degrees?
Yes, ma'am.
Or a triangle where there's an angle that is? greater
ma'am.
than 180 what kind of triangle would you call this one? Can you think of a name for that one? Do you want to
No,
help? Do you want
ma'am.
some help? That's
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
So this one, would you agree that this angle here, oh my goodness, the screen is definitely doing weird things tonight. I think it had a holiday from maths. That this angle here, Lagawa, would you agree that that angle, it definitely looks like it's greater than 180, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when an angle is greater than 180 and it's in a triangle, we would also call that a scalene / an obtuse angled triangle. So that's just another name that we can also give this triangle. Thank you so much for your help.
Okay, ma'am. Bye.
Thanks, bye. All right, so that is our 3 different kinds of triangles there. Let's carry on. Let's see if we can think of any other names of triangles. Okay, so so far we've done our equilateral, our isosceles, and we've done our scalene, or also known as an obtuse angled triangle. There's one more that I want to have a look at with you guys. And of course, our page now doesn't want to work with us and cooperate. So let's try see if we can get it to work quickly. All right. I'm going to go and I'm going to add another page for us, guys. And we are going to go there. Okay. Let's see if we can get this one to work. All right. So the last kind of triangle that I wanted to have a look at while our page is doing some weird things. Okay. The last kind of triangle that I want to have a look at has one angle, okay, that is equal to 90 degrees. One angle that's equal to 90 degrees, and the other angles could be, oh no, the other angles are both going to be acute angled triangles. All right, I'm going to have to, guys, just stop sharing my screen quickly because it's doing some strange thing. So I'm going to just unshare my screen with you very quickly, and I'm going to ask one of you to chat to me and to tell me what that triangle is. So let's go with Unati. I can see you are desperate for me to answer your question. So Unati, talk to me. What is that kind of triangle called, Unati?
It's bit long, ma'am. Okay. It's a right angle, ma'am.
Oh, you're amazing, Unati. Now, Unati, don't run away. Unati, talk to me. How many angles, or what is the sum of the angles in a triangle? Any triangle, what does the angles add up to? Do you know? What do the angles add up to in a triangle? Do you know what they add up to, this? Angles in a triangle. What do the angles in a triangle add up to, Unati?
180 degrees.
Amazing, 180, well done. So Unati, if the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees, and I already have a 90-degree angle in my triangle, okay? So I already have this 90-degree angle in my triangle, and then my triangles are supposed to add up to 180 degrees, okay? Do you agree that then the other 2 angles that are in my triangle, are they going to be obtuse angles or are they going to be acute angles? What do you think? It's a hard question. I agree. It's tricky.
Yeah.
Yo, it's difficult, hey? Okay, should we do the sum on the page? Are you ready? Do you want to do the sum together? Are you ready? Okay,
Yes,
can you see my page again, Unati? You might test it, Unati. Can you see my page?
Yes, I can see it, ma'am.
Awesome. Unati, stay with me. So Unati and I are saying, guys, let's look at this together. That in a triangle, okay? So in a triangle, all right, I just want to make sure that the screen is all working, everybody. So let's get that all going. So in a triangle, here's a normal triangle, regular triangle, triangle A, B, C. Let's say that's a 90-degree triangle, okay? And Anati said to me that all the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees, hey? So angle A
Yes.
plus angle B plus angle C equals 180 degrees. Now, Unati, you said to me that if angle B is already 90 degrees, 90 degrees plus angle C,
180.
do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
You with me? So that
Yes.
means, Unati, do you agree that angle A plus angle C is going to add up to another 90, hey?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. So would you agree that that means that angle A and angle C both have to be what kind of angles? Obtuse or acute? They both have to be acute angles, hey? What does acute mean again? Less than 180
Less than
degrees.
degrees.
All right, guys, that is such a nice question that they can ask you in a test. They can say to you, what are the two other angles added
Can
up?
you just, ma'am?
Yeah.
Can you just wait a little bit? I want to screenshot
Of
to the
course you
screen,
can.
ma'am.
Of course you can. Screenshot away. Take a screenshot. Okay. All right. Okay, guys, so that is a right angle triangle, and we know that in a right angle triangle, okay, we've got a right angle, and our other two angles need to be acute angles. They need to be less than, oh, not less than 180, sorry, less than, what am I saying here? So sorry. They need to be less than 90, apologies.
180.
Less than 90, sorry, less than 90 degrees, not 180 if it's acute. All right. Okay. So now we have gone through everything that you learned on Monday night. Very quickly, we did a quick summary. For those of you who were missing on Monday, hopefully none of you are missing. All right. I know that the class was super, super full. All right. Let's go and have a look at some questions for tonight's lesson. Okay. So tonight's lesson, we're going to go and we're going to have a look at some more of our 2D shapes. So I am going to do that quickly. All right. So these four lines form a quadrilateral, and Mr. Hugo taught you about what quadrilateral means. Quadrilateral means a shape that has four sides. So these four lines form quadrilateral A, B, C, D. I'm going to go highlight it for you guys. Okay, so here is A, B, C, D. And we're going to join that up on that side. Right, beautiful quadrilateral, four sides, A, B, C, D. The two red sides, BC and AD, are called opposite sides of the quadrilateral. Which other two sides of AB, CD are also, okay, opposite sides? So which other two sides are also opposite sides? So a reminder, opposite sides are sides that are opposite to each other. Right, Mulalo, tell to me, which two sides are opposite to each other?
I think it's DC and AB.
Well done. Okay. Now, remember, we always go in alphabetical order. Your AB is perfect. So AB and CD. Mulalo, why can't we say that they're equal to each other? Can we just guess that they're equal to each other? Can we just assume? Are we allowed to do that in maths? Never, never, never. Hey, do you agree, Mulalo? All right. So guys, Mulalo is perfectly right. We are never just allowed to just assume. We can't ever just guess that the two sides are going to be equal to each other. Okay. Yes, they are opposite to each other. All right. But we can't just guess that they're equal to each other. Now, a few weeks ago, we did parallel lines as well. Can we say that those lines are parallel to each other? All right, can we say that they're parallel to each other? Umar, can we say that those lines are parallel to each other?
Yes, miss, we can say that they are parallel.
Can we, Umar? If they haven't told us, are we allowed to say that they're parallel to each other?
No.
Good, Umar, thank you. Guys, unless they've told us that the lines are parallel to each other, no, we cannot say they're parallel to each other. And do you know what really makes them not parallel to each other? I'm going to show you. I'm going to go highlight it here. This over here, where they are crossing. Because those lines are crossing, that means we definitely know that those two lines are not parallel to each other. Because what do we know about parallel lines? They're never, ever, ever going to cross each other. Okay, they're going to keep going in the same direction and they're never going to cross. All right, so you must be very, very careful. You can never just assume something in a maths test or a maths question. Okay, let's move down and let's look at the next question. It says, the lines DA, all right, and AB in the figure are called adjacent sides. So DA and AB. Okay, I'm going to go and highlight those for you guys again so you can see which lines they are talking about. So they're saying the lines DA, so this side, and AB, I'm going to do it in green for you, are adjacent. Now that's a new word for tonight that we haven't gone over before. Maybe you've learned about it in maths before, but let's talk about the word adjacent very quickly. When we're talking about the word adjacent, and we're talking about it in geometry or in maths, all right, adjacent lines mean that the lines are next to each other, okay, and that they share a common vertex. So I'm going to talk to you about what vertex means now. So they lie next to each other, and share a common vertex. So that word vertex, guys, is very important. And vertex, okay, the word vertex is this over here. It's where it comes to an angle, all right? I always say it's almost like, okay, it's almost like they're holding hands. So you've got two arms that are next to each other, all right? But any arms can be next to each other. Those two arms need to be holding hands. And when they're holding hands, they've got a common vertex, and that means that they are adjacent. All right, so adjacent means they lie next to each other. So you can see my arms are next to each other, okay? But they also have a common vertex. They are holding hands. Really important, the word adjacent. Okay, so let's go back to the question. Name another two adjacent sides in quadrilateral A, B, C, D. So name two other adjacent sides in A, B, C, D. Who's helping me out here? What are the other two adjacent sides? Okay, Katlejo, I haven't heard from you today. Talk to me.
I think, ma'am, how many more do you need? I didn't hear you quite nicely.
Oh my goodness, Katlejo, were you already lifting your hand up before I asked the question? So Katlejo, what are the other two adjacent sides in that quadrilateral? All right, guys, I think maybe our Wi-Fi's are going a bit funky tonight.
I think it's
Yeah.
DC and CB.
Well done. Thank you so much, Katlejo. You are amazing. Well done. Okay, so Katlejo is absolutely right. Another pair of adjacent sides. Okay, oh yes. Another pair of adjacent sides would be CD and BC. So name two other adjacent sides, CD. Ooh, my word. So my other two adjacent sides, CD and BC. Okay. Could there be other pairs of adjacent sides? Of course there can. So these are the two that Katlego told me. They were the ones here. So they were CD and BC. So those were the ones you picked. Well done. All right. Another two that you could do is you could say also CD and AD. So it could be these two over here. Why? Because they are holding hands. So they're sharing a common vertex. All right. And the last two that you could pick there, okay, the last two that you could pick there, the last two sides that are also holding hands is you could go and pick AB and BC. Because again, adjacent sides, remember, two arms that, or two lines that lie next to each other, and they're sharing a common vertex, so they are holding hands. So we could say BC and AB. Okay, so those are all of my adjacent sides. All right, 8.2. AB is adjacent to DA in the quadrilateral. Okay, and we just saw which other side is also adjacent to AD. So AB was adjacent to AD. AB was adjacent to AD, and we also said that CD. So we already went and we answered that question. Okay, we went and we answered that question already. We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. So I'm going to remind you quickly. We said AB is adjacent to AD in the quadrilateral. What other side was also adjacent to AD? So there it was over there. We already said that CD and AD were adjacent to each other. Okay. Have a look at the question on your screen for me. Have a look in the questions on your screen for me. Okay. I already have people with raised hands. I'm not sure why. We haven't asked anything yet, guys. Okay, so let's have a look at that question. All right. So those two questions say, okay, I want you to lower your hands for now. I haven't asked you a question yet. Okay, so the question says, William says, each side of a quadrilateral has two adjacent sides. Each side of a quadrilateral also has two opposite sides. Is William correct? Give a reason for your answer. And then William also says, in a triangle, each side is adjacent to all other sides. Is this true? Give a reason for your answer. Before you answer me, what I would like you to do, because you all have a pen and paper in front of you, I would like you to go and draw for question 9. Go and draw a quadrilateral. Go draw a quadrilateral for yourself first. Before you go and try answer the question, draw a quadrilateral for yourself first and try and see if you can prove what he said is true or not. And then for question 10, go draw yourself a triangle first and go and see if you can prove what he said is true or not. I am giving you 2 minutes to do that before I answer any questions. Okay, before I answer any questions. All right. Somebody is asking me if they can just go up and take a screenshot. Of course you can. There we go. There is a screenshot for adjacent sides. All right. Mr. Hugo has also put it in the chat for you guys, but there it is there for you, a screenshot for you. Okay, I'm giving you guys 2 minutes to go and draw it first. Draw it first before you answer my question. Draw it first. Okay, so I'm going to move it down. All right, so there are the two questions. Draw it first. This is your challenge for tonight. Draw it first. Okay, draw it first, guys, before you go and try answer it. Draw it first. All right, you have 1 minute. Okay, Jordan's asking me if I can go up a little bit. Jordan, are you wanting me to go up this way? Then we can't see the question. All right, so I'm going to go back this way. All right, 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, guys, I am seeing that some people are sending me some private messages in the chat as well. Now I've had 2 seconds to go back and check. Just a reminder, if you're sending me private messages in the chat, I'm not going to be able to see them because I'm busy teaching. You either need to send those messages on the actual chat screen itself, and then Mr. Hugo will be able to help you, or try send those through to Mr. Hugo and he will be able to help you as well, okay? All right, I'm seeing lots of people done and dusted, finished, done and dusted, right. Umar, you had your hand up very first before I even finished asking the question. So, Umar, I'm going to go to you for number 9, Umar. Umar, number 9, talk to me. What did you say?
Yes, false.
You said false, Umar. Okay,
The
so
reason-
Umar, I'm going to go draw it. Okay, talk to me, Umar.
The reason why it's false is because each side of a quadrilateral has 2 adjacent sides. That is wrong. It has 4. But
Okay,
then
so each side of a quadrilateral, so each side, okay, has 2 adjacent sides. Let's go check, Amar. I believe you. Let's go check though, okay? So here's side AD, hey?
Yes.
All right, there's side AD. Okay, so Amar, talk to me again about what does adjacent mean? Can you remember?
Yes, 2 lines touching each other.
2 lines touching each other, they have a common vertex, hey? So would you
Yes.
agree, Amar, that side AD, it has, trying to move this out of the way, that has AB is touching it, has a common vertex there. And do you agree that it also has a vertex here, CD?
Yes.
Ah, but then that means that it's got 2 adjacent sides. 1, 2.
No. DC and CB.
DC and AB, hey?
CB.
Yeah, so the first one, that's correct, hey? Each side of the quadrilateral does have 2 adjacent sides. That one's fine. So I'm happy with that one. Talk to me about the next one. Each side of the quadrilateral has 2 opposite sides. Is that true?
Yeah, no.
No,
Actually, yes.
definitely not. Each side of a quadrilateral has 2 opposite sides. So this side of the quadrilateral, side AB, which side is opposite to side AD?
DC.
BC, hey? That's the opposite side. Do you agree?
Yes.
So how many sides are opposite to AD? Only
1.
1 side. Okay, does that make sense? So this
Yes.
question says it has 2 opposite sides. Actually, all right, each side of the quadrilateral has 2 opposite sides. How many opposite sides does it have? It only has
1.
1 opposite side. So that one is not true. So we can say false. Each side of a quad has 1 opposite side. Thank you so much, Amal.
No problem.
All right, question 10, Azande. Azande, are you helping me out with question 10?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Azande, let's draw a triangle quickly. Azande, what do you want to call your triangle?
Triangle A, B, and C.
Okay, a nice easy one. A, B, C. Right, let's go. In a triangle, each side is adjacent to all other sides. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is. Well done. Yes, it is true. Hey, So
Yes,
each
ma'am.
side of that triangle shares a common vertex with each other side, hey?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so in other words, side AB shares a common vertex with side AC. What's the common vertex? It's line, it's angle A, hey?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
And it also shares a common vertex, side AB also shares a common vertex with side BC. It's side B, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome, well done. So yes, each side shares a common vertex. Well done. Did you draw out the triangle? Oh, Zande is gone. Okay, so guys, the most helpful thing to do here when you get a question like this, okay, is that you draw the shape first. You draw the shape and you go through it carefully, like that quadrilateral one. That quadrilateral one, it was quite tricky. So if we look at that quadrilateral one, each side has two adjacent sides. Yes, it does have two adjacent sides. Each side does have two adjacent sides, okay? But it definitely only has, each side only has one opposite side. All right, so you need to make sure, okay, that you are reading the questions really carefully and that you make sure that you are drawing them out. All right, if you can believe it, we have come to the end of our class.